Sentai! Zyuranger!
Hey guys, and welcome to yet another one of my Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger episode review and commentaries. This time, episode 33. Teach Me, the Jewel of Bravery. Let's watch. The episode opens with a young boy reading manga when he is distracted by the dripping of a tap and a strange noise. But when he goes to investigate, he is transported to another realm and captured by Dora Lagor, who pulls him back into a pool of water before putting the stopper in a vial of water containing kids calling for help. Back at the temple, the Rangers are concerned about 10 kids disappearing and go to look for clues. Outside, a girl is being tortured by some boys with a snake and scorpion as she calls for her friend to help. Dan sees and chases them off. The girl tells Sayori she hates her and runs off. Dan and Sayori hear a scream, and when they run up, they find Dora Lagon, who shows him the girl in her bottle before saying she will cause a flood for 1,000 days before she flashes her gem and transports Dan and Sayori to her watery realm. As Sayori is caught by the monster's hair, Dan attacks with his Triceralance, to no avail, as Sayori is pulled towards the water. But Sayori's necklace starts glowing as it touches the water, destroying the realm and causing Dora Lagon to retreat. As Dan goes to check on Sayori, she hears a voice coming from the jewel in her necklace asking for help. Bandora tells her monster that it was Sunny, the fairy of sunlight. It reacted to the stone on the monster's forehead, Rainy, the fairy of rain. Bandora says they have enough children to sacrifice in order to make it rain for 1,000 days. Back on Earth, the Rangers are with Sayori, but she is the only one who can hear Sunny. She tells them when the dinosaurs were still around, the two fairies were the best of friends, but Bandora tried to capture them both, losing Sunny, but keeping Rainy. Sunny now wants Sayori to take her to Dora Lagor, and the Rangers promise to help and protect her. On a rocky beach, Dora Lagor is performing the spell to make it rain and flood the earth, as Sayori and the Rangers race to stop her. Storm clouds gather as the Rangers transform, but Dora Lagor uses her gem to transport the Rangers to the watery realm. She appears unstoppable as the Rangers use their legendary weapons and Ranger guns, barely landing a hit. Goosh wants to destroy the stone, but Dan warns it would destroy Rainy. Using their medals, they use their power to send Dan back to the beach to find Sayori and her necklace. But Sayori has run off scared. Dan finds her and tells her not to be defeated by fear, as he draws the kanji for courage in the air and eats it. But Dora Lagor appears to attack him. But this time Sayori doesn't run away, with the two stones calling to each other. Sayori tells Dan to touch the stones together. Transforming, he attacks with his Terralance, but the monster keeps dodging before throwing him about all over the place. Dan loses his grip and drops the necklace. Hearing the fairy's cries, Sayori writes the kanji for courage and eats it like Dan showed her, before rushing out to grab Sunny's stone, distracting Dora Lagor long enough for Dan to pin the monster, allowing Sayori to touch the stones, freeing the children and the Rangers. The Rangers combine the Ranger guns and Thunder Slingers to destroy Dora Lagor. Later, the two girls touch the stones together, freeing the fairies, who wave goodbye and fly away. as the Rangers and the two friends walk off together. Okay, so that was an okay episode. We're back to Kid of the Week. There's nothing that really happens from this or ties into anything else. Um, so it's kind of an odd one. I mean, we've got we show that fairies exist as well. Um, they're not going to win any awards for most creative in naming. Sunny and Rainy, with Rainy controlling water. So I guess Sunny controls warmth, light, heat, dryness. Not the most creative of naming. Not going to win any creativity awards there. But it's a down episode. We don't really learn much about him. He's able to sort of help the girl that's been bullied right before she gets put into a vial of sacrificial children. And he teaches the other girl, if you write courage in the air and squash it into a ball and then eat it, then you can be brave. Yeah, not sure if that really works, but yeah, I mean, why not? If it makes a kid feel like they're being brave, yeah, why not? But yeah, it's an episode of Zyuranger. There's not really much more to say. This one is it's a weird one, this one, because it's sat in such a place. We've got the 4 episode arc that brings in Ultimate Daijujin. Then we've got Geki sort of coming to terms with his brother's mortality. The fact that his brother's only got like 15 hours left or something. And then this episode, we have no Barai. Don't even think they even mention anything about Barai in this episode. And it's just, yeah, Kid of the Week, Friends in Trouble, and oh yeah, Bandora. I was about to say Dora then. It's not Bandora the Explorer. It's just Bandora the Evil Witch. Bandora wants to flood the earth to wipe everyone out. That's her plan this week. I mean, yeah, maybe, but has she ever heard of boats? Because I think quite a lot of people would survive on those really big boats that are used for pleasure cruises. And you can't tell me food will run out because I'm sure people will have fishing supplies ready. So, yeah. Flooding the earth to wipe out humanity. You'll get rid of a lot, but we know what will happen. It's going to make a terrible film because Kevin Costner did it in the 90s. We don't need Waterworld, Pandora. Thank you very much. Um, what else for this one? Yeah, we've got one thing I don't get is only that girl can hear Sunny. Now, I get it was her necklace that the jewel Sunny had been turned to was in, but I think she could also hear Rainy crying out, which I don't get why she would be able to do that unless, even if she's somehow become attuned, then couldn't they have just given the necklace to May and maybe like, oh, I can hear Sunny as well. Yes, I know where to go instead of putting a kid at risk. But obviously, that's what made the episode. It's nice that the kid was able to join in. Like, she sort of runs in yelling, which distracts the monster enough that Dan's able to pin it. And the girl was actually the one that led to the defeat of, I think it was Dora Liger, was it? Um, so yeah, she is in some. I mean, it's definitely a reversal of the start of the episodes where, um, she's too scared to even like help her friend who's being picked on by a bunch of boys. So yeah, I mean, I guess character development, but character development for a character we're never gonna see again. Um, Now speaking of the door monster, she's actually like really creepy. I mean, kidnapping kids into like this watery realm, like there's smoke, there's like cables, and then you just got this lake, and she grabs you by the neck, um, with her hair, and drags you into the water. Now, I'm not saying like anything like levels of Daleks for Doctor Who, kids hiding behind the sofa, but surely that must have been creepy for kids. I mean, I'm not one saying like protect them. I mean, my 10-year-old loves horror movies. She would happily sit and watch stuff that even I don't want to watch. Not because I'm scared, just because I find them boring, but that's another thing entirely. But yeah, this must have been like the sort of thing a lot of Japanese kids must have really liked just for like the creepiness or the scare factor in it. Like, oh my god, he's got her by, like she's got her by the neck, she's dragging her into the like water and all the rest of it. Again, it's another sacrifice X number of children, which you know we've seen so many times before. I mean, the most recent one obviously being that 4-part bit with Great Satan and the was it 10 children that needed to be in that. Now she needs what 13 children to flood the earth. So you only need 10 you only need 10 children to summon Satan, but you need more than that if you want to flood the earth. I think Satan got ripped off. He should have had more kids. um but yeah, it is quite literally a Kid of the Week episode. It doesn't tie into anything else. So there's not really much more to talk about. Dan didn't really get any character development. The other Rangers didn't really do too much. There was no Barais and no counting down of his hours. It's just Kid of the Week. Next episode will be episode 34, Live Barai. So, hey, we've got a 6th Ranger. And his hours are counting down. So we'll see what happens next week. Bye.